Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Bad Comic Review stream. I believe this is number 48. Yeah, got a lot to go over tonight, but let's see who's in the chat. Hey, old guy. Hey, Jordan. Hey, TOS. Hi, Evolved. Hey, Megan. Hey, Buster. Hey, Hazmat. Hey, Nobody. Hey, Frosted. How you guys doing out there? Hey, EPAC. How's it going? Hey, BG. Hey, Pete. All right. We got quite a bit going on in the world of pop culture this week. A lot of crazy stuff like usual. But first, you guys know the drill. It's shilling time. If you like the show, hit the like button, share it on your social media, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes where we listen to me ramble incessantly. I'm doing good. Tired, 4:45 a.m. Oh, screw that. That's peak hours, man. You got to get out there and be productive. I'm doing okay. I probably should be on a daytime schedule because it's like 11 p.m. here, and I just got up like 7. This weather's killing me. Stupid winter. Well, we got a lot going on, so let's take a look at some of the crazy stuff going on. We got a lot. We got Neve Campbell fighting bears. We got a D&D adventure for Strixhaven. That is just stupid. And we got some Zorro drama, and we're going to talk about Batgirl, all kinds of craziness like that. Yeah, like I said, like, share, subscribe. If you're wanting to support the show, Streamlabs is linked at the top and in the description, and will be in the chat in a second. 8:48, that's not bad. That's good napping time. Hey, Lesser. 12 hours, 8 more to go. On 4 hours of sleep. Oh, dude, that sucks. I hate working while tired. That is the absolute worst. Doing any kind of physical activity when you're sleepy, even if you're just doing paperwork, it's awful. I feel for you, man. But think of all that sweet overtime you're raking in. Been up since 8 a.m., just can't sleep. Oh, that sucks. That sucks too. And you guys need to get some sleep. 2:49, nice afternoon. Well, at least you're having a good day, Evolved. All right, let's start with the bad news like usual. Try and do that, get that out of the way. Now, you 80 kids may know that this person. This comes from Variety. Ronnie Spector, girl group icon and leader of the Ronettes, dies at 78. Ronnie Spector, whose hard-edged yet tumultuous, tremulous voice soared on the Ronettes girl group hit of the early 60s, died on Wednesday of cancer. She was 78. Our beloved Earth Angel Ronnie peacefully left this world today after a brief battle with cancer. She was with family and in the arms of her husband, Jonathan, reads a statement on Spector's official website. Ronnie lived her life with a twinkle in her eye, a spunky attitude, a wicked sense of humor, and a smile on her face. She was filled with love and gratitude. Her joyful sound, playful nature, and magical presence will live on in all who knew, heard, or saw her. Née Veronica Bennett, she forged an enduring bad girl image with her older sister Estelle Bennett and cousin Nedra Talley, towering teased beehive hairdos, canopies of mascara and eyeliner, and tight-fitting slit skirts that rubbed against the arching romanticism of the Ronettes Phillies records hits from 63 to 67. Through producer Phil Spector, employed with other powerful female vocalists like Crystal's Darlene Love, Lala Brooks, and on memorable River Deep Mountain High, Tina Turner, the Ronettes' lead singer became the ideal vehicle for massive-sounding hits he termed Little Symphonies for the Kids. In Out of His Head, his biography of the producer, Richard Williams wrote, Ronnie Bennett's hugely quavering, massively sexy voice was a pure pop instrument, the like of which no one had ever heard before. Spector had found his instrument, and she found her setting. She had a big hit with "Be My Baby" that in the '80s was a tagline that she used with crap. His name just left me. Eddie Money. So kind of brought her back to stardom a little bit. But there's a little bit of history here about her musical career. She was a real big singer for a long time and still had a lot of fans. So if you're interested, there's the archive of the article. Hazmat, we all know the feeling. Hey, Ginger. Just walked 50 miles at Disney World this week. Well, I hope you had fun, dude. Hey, Cracked. So, yep, Ronnie Spector's gone. Another victim of cancer. But, yeah, her legacy will live on with her music. And, yeah, so we've still got that, I guess. So there you go. All right, let's talk about the FX show, Alien. It's from Bleeding Fool. FX Alien TV series to focus on AI and cyborgs more than xenomorphs. Why would they want to spend money on xenomorphs in an alien show? That's dumb. Don't be ridiculous, you guys. I mean, it's just aliens. AI can be aliens, right? Right? Noah Hawley, the filmmaker who hopes to resurrect the Alien property, has recently revealed some intriguing facts about his future television series. With the 20th Century Fox property now under Disney's umbrella, that means the Alien Queen is in fact a princess. Hawley has revealed to Esquire that his Alien FX series will focus on advances in artificial intelligence and the development of cyborgs for the first time. It's set on Earth of the future. At this moment, I'd describe that as Edison versus Westinghouse versus Tesla. Someone's going to monopolize electricity. Well, technically, Westinghouse and Tesla were on the same side. We just don't know which one it is. In the movies, we have this Weyland-Yutani Corporation, which is clearly also developing artificial intelligence. But what if there were other companies trying to look at immortality in a different way with cyborg enhancements or transhuman downloads? Which of those technologies is going to win? Who fucking cares? Call the show Alien Yutani then, not Aliens. Weyland Yutani would be an interesting show on its own, but that's not what your people think they're getting. Well, fans of Alien and Aliens, I know there are fans of Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, but they are at the very least divisive, and get a hold of an Alien 3 work print edition if you can. We'll be disappointed to learn the series' large scale rather than the claustrophobic terror. It does sound like Noah Hawley has found a logical way back into the original story. For those who are concerned about Hawley's investigation of AI and cyborgs, many of whom will certainly be reminded of Alien Covenant Prometheus. Okay, great sentence. The filmmaker goes on to explain his knowledge of the franchise and why he took this route. Alien is a fascinating story because it's not just a monster movie. It's about how we're trapped between the primordial past and the artificial intelligence of our future, says you, where both are trying to kill us. As Sigourney Weaver said in the second movie, I don't know which species was worse. At least they don't frick each other over a percentage. Even if the show is a 60% of the best horror action on the planet, there's still 40% where you have to ask, what are we talking about beneath it all? Thematically, it has to be interesting. It's humbling to get to play with the iconography of the world. Noah Hawley clearly knows a lot about the Alien franchise and has spent a lot of time thinking about how to best bring the Xenomorph universe back to its former glory. The Alien television series is created by FS for broadcast on Hulu, as announced during Disney's Investor Day presentation in 2020. Noah Hawley, in this case, is Hawley a minute ago, best known for the shows Legion and Fargo, has been on board since the beginning and has cautioned fans to be patient. It will take some time. Everything is going great, he said. Unfortunately, considering the scope of the project, it's moving slowly, despite this news source claim that filming on the Alien franchise will commence in March of this year. So I don't know why they're calling it Alien and not having xenomorphs in it. and it's set, sounds like, before the first movie. Which one is the bald prisoner monks? I think that's 3. Oh, great, more Alien. Yeah, it's probably going to be crap. What's up, Cynic? So I don't know about this. Doesn't sound very good, quite frankly. So I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'm not excited about it at all. I don't have very much faith they're going to do that right. All right, let's jump over to some gaming for a second. Got a couple of good game articles, and by good I mean I found them, so I guess that counts. But this time without the alien, right? Alien like a foreign concept. Yeah, it's all about, Mexicans coming over the border, I guess. I didn't hate 3. I just don't think about it very often. Most of the Alien movies to me are just kind of blah fare. I'll watch them if they're on, but I'm not going to seek them out. I didn't even see the first one for 20 years after I saw the second one. Second one, I liked the first 2, but those I would seek out. But the other ones, I could take them or leave them. I think the only one I really hated was Aliens versus Predator. I think there's a couple of them I didn't see, too. I didn't see this last one they did, the Prometheus follow-up. Oh, check my money hole. I like checking that. Thank you, Evolved Potato, for the donation. If they did the Alien series like a murder mystery where someone dies at the start and they go down the investigation rabbit hole of a cover-up with subtle hints to the xenomorphs, nice slow burn with a bang at the end with the alien killing everyone. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. Or just have, like, if they wanted to do this concept, have some cyborgs and some androids on a space station together and an alien gets on somehow and they have to fight it out, but the aliens are the cyborgs won't work with the androids, so they become factionalized. I'd watch that. Like, they think that they're killing each other, but it's really an alien loose and they don't realize that right away. I'd watch the shit out of that. Terrible movie, AVP. Yeah, that one sucked. When the Predator was running and you could see his clown shoes flopping, that was fucking ridiculous. Couldn't stand that. But thanks, Evolved. Appreciate it. We're going to talk about how Kotaku talking crap on Ready or Not. Not saying it's far right police fantasy. I haven't heard about that, actually. I don't follow a lot of video game stuff. I'd never played Among Us, Hazmat, so I don't know really anything about it. Throwing some Blade Runners. I'd watch the shit out of a Blade Runner movie. That was good. All right, ICV2 is reporting Cool Mini or Not will release 2 A Song of Ice and Fire starter sets into retail. Now, this name really bugs me because it flows better as a song of fire and ice instead of a song of ice and fire. Because, I don't know, it just flows better with fire and ice. Stark starter set and Lannister starter set are going to be coming out. Cool Mini or Not will release the Stark starter set and Lannister starter set for A Song of Fire and Ice tabletop miniatures game into retail on February 18th. The Stark starter set comes with everything players need to build a Stark army and play. This box set features the Stark Sworn Swords, Umber Berserkers, and Karstark Spearmen for units, as well as main characters like Robb Stark, Great John Umber, and Grey Wind. On the other side of the battlefield, the Lannister starter set comes with Lannister Guardsmen and Halberders as troops and showcases premier characters like Jaime, Cersei, Tyrion, and the mountain that rides Gregor Clegane. Game supports 2 or more players ages 14 and up and plays in 45 to 60 minutes. The box sets will retail for $100 a piece. They released the starter set in 2021. So I've heard this game's pretty cool, but I haven't played it. So here's what. Let me get that. No, not going to get a bigger picture. This is the Lannisters, I believe. And there's the Starks. So you get quite a bit. Cool Mini or Not makes really good stuff, so $100 is probably about reasonable. But you'll probably need the core box to play. And I don't know how much that one costs offhand. Let's find out. Yeah, there's the starter set. That's Greyjoy starter set. This one is not listed. Oh, it's $100 too. So there's 3 factions out as of February 18th. So each person will need their own starter set. But yeah, I've heard good things about this game. Just never played it. Hey Johnny, how you doing, man? So it's a tabletop game? Yeah, it's a miniatures game. Should be pretty good. Cool Mini or Not does some cool games. I really like Zombicide, and there's another one that had like chibi little characters. I forget what it was called, but it was a semi-cooperative game. It wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. It just wasn't for me. But you could like stab each other in the back and stuff like that. So yeah, that one looked pretty cool. So if you're a miniatures gamer, that might be up your alley. All right. Let's talk about some Witcher 2 controversies. This is from Bounding into Comics. Netflix writer and producer Lauren Hisrich says she's the strong, independent woman you've been looking to blame for Witcher's 2nd season. I haven't watched this show, but I've heard that the chick is like kind of a Mary Sue and she's better than Henry Cavill. So there's that. In response to criticism of The Witcher's 2nd season giving a larger focus to Yennefer and series stories at the expense of Geralt, Netflix writer and producer Lauren Hisrich has declared that she is the strong, independent woman you're looking to blame for the series' narrative changes. Of course she is. Every chick in Hollywood thinks she's a strong, independent woman. And they're just tryhards most of the time. Hisrich took credit for her work on January 6th. Oh my God, Insurrectionist! In response to criticism of the series' 2nd season made by YouTuber Jeremy Hambly. Henry Cavill was totally wasted on The Hitcher, wrote Hambly in a tweet. Geralt continues to play 2nd or 3rd fiddle on his own show because, well, Netflix. Now, that's just everything now. You can't have a strong male character. We've seen it in Batman under Tynion and Tom King before that. You see that with all of the Fantastic Four, even Sue in the Fantastic Four book under Dan Slott. Same with Iron Man. They're all strong men are being written out. The writers are so obsessed to force the strong, independent women who don't need no man. They ignore most of us. Why most of us wanted to watch. The follow-up tweet, he clarified, "Don't get me wrong, I like Yen, etc., but they have too much screen time. Season 2 was a slight improvement from Season 1, but not enough to make me really anticipate a Season 3 in any meaningful way." Independently finding Hambly's tweet, as the YouTuber did not direct his criticism towards any specific member of the series production team, Hisrich pushed back against his blaming of Netflix for his issues with The Witcher, replying, "Actually, I'm the strong, independent woman you're looking to blame for your sadness." If you are a Hollywood type and you have the time to tweet at random YouTubers, you're probably not going to have a very long career. Or you have way too much free time and you should focus on your career to make it better because you're an idiot. Unsurprisingly, Hisrich's response resulted in an outpouring of both backlash and admiration from detractors and supporters, with The Witcher producer in turn responding to numerous tweets from both sides. In response to the Gamer Lead features editor Kane Maher, who stated that her dunking on the quartering is honestly the best gift 2022 could have possibly given us. You need higher standards for gifts, my friend. Hisrich said of her reply, which many desperately tried to frame as a brutal zinger, "I couldn't help it. He was blaming poor Netflix, and I'm right here, womanly parts and all." Oh, God, look how soy that dude looks from that tiny little picture. He's got the little dumb little beard and the short hair. Ugh. Ugh. Looks like that guy on the commercials that tries to sell me a square pillow. Ugh, these people are disgusting. There's probably less testosterone in him than there is in her. You're also the person who wanted to throw a cheap joke into the Roach death scene. It was only Henry Cavill who persuaded you, a professional writer. What a terrible idea that was. I don't think you have a whole lot to boast about right now, said YouTuber The Critical Drinker, referencing a December 2021 interview Hisrich gave to Polygon, in which she admitted that she initially wanted to punctuate Roach's death with a bit of meta comedy, only for her to change her mind after Cavill expressed his distaste for the dialogue. Get on Cavill. That's lazy. This is lazy, right? There's so much of this tee-hee hipster humor that's in everything. It's the Joss Whedon effect. Everything's got to be silly Billy. Hee. Oh, isn't that funny? I made a silly joke. No, you're not funny, okay? You're not funny. Sometimes things can be sad and not have a joke inserted every third sentence, Marvel. Henry was unhappy with the line. She told the news outlet, "Finally, I said, you know what? You come up with something. I trust you. You know this material so well. You know the book so well. You don't even have to pitch it to me." And then he came back the next day with a beautiful speech that was at the end of Sword of Destiny when Geralt is facing death, and it's such a pitch-perfect moment. Yeah, that's not an appropriate time for a joke. As the YouTuber's tweet began to gain widespread attention, Hisrich fired back with a screenshot of the script of the moment in question and wrote, "This has blown up. Here's what was scripted in homage of the fact that a previous Roach had existed and another one will exist soon. It's hardly a joke." Well, you don't seem very funny, so. Henry wanted a longer, more emotional moment, which I was more than happy to give him. Yeah, because he's the star and you're a nobody. She recalled, "Don't create drama where none exists, because Henry Cavill's way more popular than you and they know who he is." As seen in this screenshot, Cavill's Gerard was originally meant to comment, "You're my favorite Roach." Get it? You're my favorite Roach. Ha ha. All these people are tiresome. Hisrich would also respond to Twitter user Objection AV. Okay, this guy's a nobody apparently, who wrote, "You have to be a little honest with yourself. The series has some terrible writing. You can still be a strong, independent woman and ask for some help, maybe from somebody that actually read and care for the books, like Henry. I'm a fan of The Witcher, but this adaptation is bad." Yeah, I saw the 90s one from somewhere in Europe. I don't remember, Germany or some shit. Poland, maybe. And aside from the budget being really bad, it wasn't too bad. I was entertained. I thought it was amusing. Hisrich asserted, "I understand that you didn't like the writing, and that's fine. What's not fine is presenting your opinion as fact." Strong, independent woman. "I personally like the season," she said, "or I wouldn't have written it that way, honestly." Ugh. Get a hobby. YouTuber Nina Infinity, that's kind of a fun name, suggested, "Please give us more Henry Cavill on screen and listen to a suggestion of having season 3 reflect the source material more. Maybe just ask him to contribute to writing season 3 because he seems to be the only person that cares about the IP." Well, that's a common problem, isn't it? Hisrich replied, "Season 3 follows The Time of Contempt, which, thank God, is a much easier book to adapt in terms of events and pace of action." You're a shit writer. That sentence tells me all, oh my gosh, it was too hard to adapt the others. No, that just means you're a bad writer. "I'm thrilled with the script so far." Well, you were thrilled with season 2, and apparently people didn't like that, so here we are. "And now we're seeing Sapkowski's story unfold. Interesting thing is, Geralt is not heavy in the novel, TOC," she added, "but we're working hard to give him all the screen time he deserves," which obviously is minimal because it seems to be a theme here. At one point, Hisrich found herself in disbelief that she was not being supported solely on the basis of her gender, expressing genuine confusion in a woman who opined, "A strong, independent woman does not feel the need to make these kind of statements. A strong, independent woman just is." That is a fact. And good on you, Daily Grind, for saying that. I don't get this take. Of course not, you're dumb, said the writer. Let's put that in air quotes. Any asshole can write something. Why would you, a woman, a mother of two, just like me, how dare you violate the code? Want to take me down a notch for having a moment of pride? I'm genuinely curious. Maybe because you're being kind of a bitch. For his part, Hambly ultimately engaged with Histrich only once, retweeting her initial tweet to him and telling his followers, "Hey, I give the lady credit for calling me out. I want. Still not a great look to be arguing with people who pay to watch your show," he concluded. Also, your show still took a huge step back in its second season. Conversely, Histrich has only sought to further engage with and even agitate her critics. One Twitter user declared, "The show is dead. I loved the books and games, but this writing is just awful." She responded, "Roach is dead. The show is about how to start up production again." Okay, that's a weird response. Histrich has also continued to desperately project a hero-villain narrative upon her recent engagements with Hambly and others, despite the YouTuber's above graceful disengagement from the situation. No, he's got shit to do. I don't think he's above responding constantly. I've seen him do shit like that in the past, but he has a successful YouTube channel to run. He's probably making more than this stupid bitch. He who shall not be named mentioned me. Voldemort mentioned you? Wow. And sperm in the same tweet. And I'm pretty sure that means I've passed some kind of coolness threshold shared by the incomparable Brie Larson. There's somebody to compare yourself to. Look, I wouldn't kick Brie Larson out of bread for eating crackers, but she's not exactly somebody I'd want to spend a lot of time with. So I'm pretty damned excited. She wrote in a tweet, posted just hours prior to this article's writing. Hambly did cover Histrich's interaction with him on his YouTube channel. Of course, it's money-making. Drama always sells for him. Netflix's The Witcher showrunners decided to necro like a 4 or 5 day old tweet by me and give me the drubbing that Twitter so desperately loved. Yeah, Twitter loves drama too. He did add, and I will admit my take, probably not as my take as a fan of Henry Cavill and what, in my mind, The Witcher should have looked like. And some people disagree with that. Some people think that focusing on really strongly on strong independent women, that's a stupid phrasing, who don't need no man in season 2 was great. And it sounds pretty boring because it's always forced when they do it anymore. I'm not saying the books didn't do that kind of thing. There's obviously a lot of emphasis on Ciri, but it's not the Witcher show I wanted to watch, and I expressed that, and she went on and just absolutely eviscerated me. I wouldn't call that an evisceration, I'd call it whining. So yeah, this crazy bitch went after Hambly for, I don't know, he's not real smart maybe. This is dumb. What a fucking waste of time. 5 old days isn't necro. How doing, monkey? Yeah, this is just dumb shit. I don't know, man. I want to watch The Witcher because I like Henry Cavill, and I read part of one of the books a while back, and it seemed pretty good. Translations are a bit rough sometimes, but they seem like they're cool. The video games look cool. I only played the third one for a little while, and I didn't get very far. But I don't know. Everything I've heard about the show is pretty negative, that they focus on the chicks too much, and that it's boring. So I'll probably just skip that. Strong, independent women don't need no man. Hey, Ada BC, how you doing? If you guys have seen the show, let me know if it's good, because then maybe I'll watch it. But I haven't heard anything good, and if the writer's going to be this weird and self-absorbed, that reflects in the show almost every time. All right, you remember that movie Rust? The one where Alec Baldwin shoots the cinematographer? Well, there have been some developments. One, he did finally turn his phone over, and that was the most recent one. But the Rust armorer, according to the Hollywood Reporter, sues production's ammunition supplier for allegedly adding live rounds on set. Rust Armor Hannah Gutierrez Reed on Wednesday sued Seth Kenny, the man whose company supplied ammunition to the production, claiming that he introduced live rounds on set. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the fact that you once handed a gun to a child, and you're probably not qualified for your job. The lawsuit filed in New Mexico federal court accuses Kenny of distributing boxes of ammunition purporting to contain dummy rounds, but which contained a mix of dummy and live ammunition. That's your job to check. It's your job to double check all of this stuff. Even if they did that, I don't think you have a real lawsuit here because you should have double checked all of the ammo. Hannah and the entire Rust movie crew relied on the defendant's misrepresentation that they provided only dummy ammunition, reads the complaint. In doing so, defendants created a dangerous condition on the movie set, unbeknownst to Hannah Gutierrez Reed, which caused a foreseeable risk of injury to numerous people. You're still going to have to get by those reports that there were people on set shooting wild animals with those guns previously. So did somebody else bring it in? You're not going to win this lawsuit. And it really looks like you're just trying to cover your own ass. Kenny, owner of PDQ Arms and Prop, has denied that the live rounds were on the film set, came from his company. He said in an interview with Good Morning America on December 2nd that his New Mexico-based company supplied the guns, the blank ammunition, and 50 dummy rounds. And there was something very unique about the live rounds that were found. The lawsuit details a conflicting version of events in which Gutierrez Reed argues that she could have prevented the fatal shooting of Helena Hutchins on October 21st. According to the complaint, Gutierrez Reed loaded the gun that killed Hutchins from a box labeled dummy rounds and gave it to an assistant director, Dave Halls. She then left the scene, which was shot inside of a church to adhere to COOF protocols. Had Hannah been called back in, she would have re-inspected the weapon and every round again and instructed. Well, so that implies she did inspect the rounds when she put them in the gun. So blanks look a lot different than live rounds. Just saying. It instructed Baldwin on safe gun practice with the cross draw, as was her standard practice on set and under circumstances where, one, Baldwin did not respond to Hannah's request on October 15th to schedule cross draw training, and two, the gun had been out of her possession for 15 minutes, the lawsuit states. Well, if the gun was out of her possession, how does she know chain of custody? Maybe somebody else put the ammo in there. These guys are going to crush her in a lawsuit and probably get their legal fees paid by her. So yeah, the complainant claims violation of New Mexico's unfair trade practice, creation of dangerous condition, and false and material misrepresentation. She's going to lose this. I think they're going to win if they have a halfway decent lawyer. But this continues to get kind of silly. I think this woman has a lot of guilt for whatever she did. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? Hey, Merle. Hey, Giovanni. Found the show overall fun, some bits worse than others, but Geralt and Dandelion scenes were great. I'll have to check it out then. She grew up around guns and was trained like she claims. There's no excuse. Absolutely, Megan. I think she screwed up and maybe got lazy and complacent on set. Other people had access to this equipment, and bad stuff happened. All right, let's talk about Xbox. This is from Niche Gamer. I know a lot of you guys are game players. Xbox boss wants cross-platform bans for destructive conversations. Enough of you shit-talking 12-year-olds. You're all banned. The new report reveals Xbox boss Phil Spencer wants cross-platform bans to be a standard in the hopes of shutting down all destructive conversations. The new interview with Phil Spencer via New York Times confirms the Xbox boss wants cross-platform bans to be practiced, meaning if you get banned off Xbox, you should be banned off Steam, the PlayStation Network, and other digital platforms. Something I would love us to be able to do, this is a hard one as an industry, is when somebody gets banned in one of our networks, there is a way for us to ban them across all other networks, Spencer said. Spencer's comments follow waves of sexual harassment allegations of big competitors like Activision, as well as sexual discrimination lawsuits at other companies like Riot Games. The Xbox chief also suggested creating a system that lets users maintain a banned user list that they can migrate between platforms. I'd love to be able to bring them to other networks where I play, so this is the group of people that I chose not to play with, he said, because I don't want to have to recreate that in every platform that I play video games on. Oh, boo-hoo, life's hard, man, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo! Further on, it talked about Microsoft's new AI to monitor the sentiment of a conversation to help detect when a conversation is getting to a destructive point. So somebody yelling, "Oh, fuck you," when they're frustrated at something environmental in the game might accidentally get you banned because they'll think you're saying it to someone else. Users have the option to report a user in the Xbox UI to flag, of course. So yeah, this guy just is a censorious dickbag. So fuck him. Makes me glad I don't own an Xbox anymore. People need to learn how to talk shit better. That's a problem with society. Everyone is in ass cover mode. Yeah. Gay box X. Yeah, fucking corporate people, man. I don't get it. They're just going to create a competitor that's like, yeah, we'll let you say whatever you want and not get banned. Unless it's, a direct threat. All right, some news Polly will enjoy, should he ever watch this program, which he won't. It looks like Screen Rant is reporting Aquaman star Jason Momoa announced a split from wife Lisa Bonet. So I guess she got all dusty or something downstairs. Aquaman star Jason Momoa and wife Lisa Bonet have announced their split after 5 years of marriage with an emotional Instagram post. Momoa is an American actor, best known for his roles in Aquaman, Dune, and Game of Thrones. He began his career as a teenager in modeling. I don't care. He was on Baywatch Hawaii. Good job. He was also in that really mediocre Conan movie where he looked like he had a Neanderthal brow. Bonet was, of course, on Cosby Show in a Different World and the much underrated Angel Heart, where you can watch her get plowed by Mickey Rourke, I think it was. So, yeah, he shared this long, depressing thing about them splitting up. So he's back on the market, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I don't know if he swings each way, whatever. He's rich enough; he can do that. He can afford a little bit of everything. I already informed the other that Lisa was a free agent. Oh, nice! I bet that made his day. Now he can stop littering in Mimosa's backyard. People really like that guy, though. Yeah, it's because he seems like relatively friendly, I guess. I don't know. People attach themselves to celebrities for some reason. Most celebrities are complete lunatic assholes. So I don't really get it. A lot of weirdos. Amber Heard already claimed him. Well, she's pretty weird too. So she's kind of a crazy pants. Let's talk about hip hop. This is one of the articles I was going to put in the title because this is funny as shit. Think he's gender fluid? I don't know. He swims in a lot of water, so. This comes from All Hip Hop. Instagram model alleges Drake puts hot sauce in his used condoms to stop groupies from stealing his sperm. Oh, it burns. It burns. Ouch. Rapper's unconventional method of birth control left a woman burning. Twitter's going crazy with a bizarre story about hip-hop's certified lover boy. Whatever. I saw him on Degrassi, The Next Generation. He's a dork. According to sources, Drake put hot sauce in a condom to stop an Instagram model from stealing his sperm after sex. Why don't you just take the condom with you? Who knew the way to stop unwanted pregnancy was in your cabinet? Good old Texas Pete. According to, apparently, after the chart topper, the artist with the number one most singles in the history of Billboard finished making whoopee with a popular model that he met on social media, he put the spicy condiment in the used prophylactic. She's not the only one, according to sportskita.com. He does this with many of the women he beds, preventing them from using his sperm to impregnate themselves and get him for a child support bag. Now the woman plans to sue Drake. Does she have a case? I hope not, but I want this to go to court because this will be funny as shit to watch. He just keeps. This story goes that they met at a joint and linked up that night in his hotel room. After smoking, they hopped into bed to get it popping. I'm going to read this like the whitest person you know. After they were done, he threw the condom out, and to her dismay, after she dug it out of the trash to transfer the semen into her body, she discovered his unconventional birth control method. That maybe he just lubes up with hot sauce because it like turns him on or something with the burning. It's some sort of self-loathing thing. The report states that when she placed the content from the rubber in her vagina and screamed, she hollered, saying her vagina felt like lava was being poured in it. Drake admitted to her that he put the hot sauce in the condom, explaining the reason why. It's not going to kill his swimmers. It's just going to hurt her cooch. Now she's threatening to sue. She allegedly posted the image of her burnt-up pom-pom parts online. No one from OVO has commented on the story/rumor. Although, I'm sure if you look hard enough, you can find pictures of her inflamed cooter on the internets. But yeah, I thought that was funny because that's what you get for trying to steal his used spooge. And gross. You took something out of the trash and put it in your vagina. Think about what you're doing, ladies. She does have a case if she can show any actual damage. You can't set traps for others. That's true, but I mean, he threw it away, so that's why you put it in a Ziploc baggie and take it home with you and throw it away in a safe, secure backyard fire. But yeah, throwing it in the trash, it's not his anymore, I guess, but he threw it away. But yeah, it serves her right for trying to gold dig. So he was correct for the preemptive strike? Absolutely. Technically defensive still. Does a hotel flush it? Ew. Gross. I feel bad for the plumbers at hotels. But I don't blame him for this. I think that dude's a moron, and that was probably just the burning of Satan telling you that you had sex with one of his minions, because there's no reason that dude should be popular. All right, let's duck into some video games for another second. You can claim you only wanted to kill the sperm. Yeah, but I don't think, Bleach probably would have worked better for that. Setting traps for others isn't hot saucing your used condom. I think they were both trying to trap each other. He was trying to find out if she was a sperm thief, and he was trying to find out if she was a gold digger. They'll probably be dating by the end of it all. From bounding into comics, can't read. World of Warships faces controversy over new North American community managers' public support of BLM and ACAB views. World of Warships hiring of a new North American community manager sparked controversy after his anti-police ACAB views were discovered by players. What, did the Yamamoto have a police flag on it? The controversy began on January 4th when Reddit user Gankme Oni-chan, Jesus, took to the World of Warships subreddit to voice their concern over the game's new North American community manager, Conception, who was brought on in wake of tensions between users and the official forum administrator, Eshkance, over complaints about the in-game carrier stats. Jesus Christ, I'm already bored with this. So after the recent Akance drama that happened, a new NACM appeared. Gankme Oni-chan posted on the game's official subreddit, archived here. You would think that after all the drama in North America, they would double check stuff, but no, this time again, they didn't. Shocker. He then explained, fine if you're going to support minorities, but ACAB in the Twitter bio, while also proudly boasting about being a CM. I don't know. The two recent CMs they have introduced to North America don't seem to deliver the message community managers are supposed to. Here's the evidence. Yeah. These are all pronouns in the bio. Oh, nice. Nice you with your dog. That dog is crying for help in that picture. Don't touch your dog, Tubbo. Is he going to eat the dog or have sex with it? Maybe both. I don't know. As an acronym for all cops are bastards, the term has historically been used to protest corruption and bias in law enforcement. No, it's historically been used by skinheads. But in the recent years, it's been co-opted by calls to abolish police forces after the death of George Floyd. Archives of Conception's Twitter profile reveal that, sure enough, his bio once voiced support for both Black Lives Matter and ACAB. dumbass also put his email in there. However, these references have since been removed, with Conception's profile now reading opinions of my own, not the view of my employers. So don't put your employer's info in your fucking Twitter profile then. If you're not speaking in an official capacity, don't confuse people by putting this in there. That's stupid. People are so dumb. In one example of his political leanings, after learning of the Brooklyn Center police chief blamed for the death of Duante Wright on a police officer pulling a gun instead of a taser as they intended, Conception tweeted, "Wow, it's like the cops in this city aren't properly trained or something." Nah, it's tiny girl brains. "This is so infuriating," he added. "POC are dying because of racist incompetence. I mean, come on, this is happening during the trial of another cop killing a black person in this city. Throw it out, ACAB, BLM." Idiot. After You Gank Me Oni-chan original Reddit thread sparked a wave of complaints regarding Conception's political beliefs and his lack of experience with the game, moderators removed several replies for violating the subreddit's toxicity rule, while moderator Tsukimi-chan made a call for civil discussion. Yeah, there's always some asshole like, let's keep it civil, and that just makes it worse. This post itself is in compliance with the rules. What's-a-face said, however, it is obviously a sensitive subject. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Conception has tweeted about his concerns over police racism several other times, usually after incidents where police shootings have been called into question by the public at large. No, by the bunch of activists. However, Conception seemed to be initially warmly welcomed by the World of Warships community at large, but once his political beliefs became known at large, the community quickly turned against him. ACAB, seriously? Where do you find these idiots? Complained 14.4 before later deleting their account. Did they delete it or did somebody else? We do not need community managers who espouse the idea that all cops are bad. While normally ACAB comes from the skinhead culture years ago, linking it with BLM just shows how ignorant the CM is and does not represent the community. 14.4's post subsequently triggered a discussion about how individual members perceive their local police. Oh, God, that must have been painfully boring. So, yeah, it goes on like that. This guy's a moron. Leave your politics out of your job stuff. And if you're going to talk politics on Twitter, don't post your job. You're asking for trouble at that point. Well, realistically, it was tiny girl brain moment. Oh, absolutely. That's why women shouldn't be cops. But again, I'm a bad person for saying it when we're all thinking it. All right. Let's jump over and talk about Marvel Comics for a second. From Bounding into Comics, Marvel Comics artist Patrick Zurcher claims all Nazis are Republican. He likes to say dumb stuff like this. He thinks it's edgy. Marvel Comics artist Patrick Zurcher, who is currently providing artwork for Savage Avengers that features Robert E. Howard's Conan the Barbarian, recently took to Twitter to claim Nazis exist within the Republican Party. Zurcher took to Twitter where he wrote, "In America, not all Republicans are Nazis, but all Nazis are Republican." Oh, you're so edgy. So edgy. Edgy boy. This dude's older than me, I think. A few hours later, Zurcher would comment on Indiana State Senator Scott Baldwin's recent comments. During a committee hearing, he wrote, "Republican Senator Baldwin's 'let's be impartial about Nazis' comment made national news and local news owned by Republicans did not report a single word about it." And an edited video of the hearing. We all know what happened. It was stupid. The guy said something stupid. And it goes on with that. As for Zurcher's claims that all Nazis are Republicans, it's absurd on its face, and anyone claiming as such is not a serious person. I agree. But he doesn't seem real smart. Yep, there haven't been any since 45, not real ones. Yeah, here's some comics. Action Comics number 46. And it's got some history with like George Rockwell Lincoln and stuff like that. So Losers in 1865, losers in 1945. Oh, well, I could make a joke here, but it would cost me my YouTube channel. So I think this guy's a fucking moron who can't keep his mouth shut. And it's nothing new. He's been a complete dickbag for a long time, like so many of these comic creators. Seems to go against how the Nazis being left wing. Yeah, they were socialists, so. Well, Hazmat, I don't know what to tell you. Like Tim Scott must be a black Nazi. I don't get it. Does that make Ben Shapiro very contradictory? I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty stupid. And this guy's got a habit of sticking his foot in his mouth, and he thinks he's being like edgy, cool guy from the 90s, and it's just sad. It's just sad. All right, you guys hear about the new Zorro show that's coming out? There's 2 of them. There's going to be one with the guy from that 70s show, Vilder Malarama, some shit like that. And then there's this one from Deadline. Zorro drama with female lead from Robert and Rebecca Rodriguez, Sean Trita, and Propagate in the works at the CW. Remember last week how we said the CW is going up for sale? They're still going to drop a bunch of money on a Zorro drama. And apparently Robert Rodriguez is just selling out. Zorro's headed to the CW. The young skewing network has put in development a gender-swapped reimagining of the classic masked vigilante character from filmmaker Robert Rodriguez, writer-director Rebecca Rodriguez, Sean Trita of Mayans MC, and oh, that's sad. That's a big step down for him. And Ben Silverman and Howard T. Owens Propagate. CBS Studios, where Propagate has a deal, is in the studio. This is a new incarnation of the project, which was in development at NBC during the 2020 to 2021 cycle, with Trita as a new addition and as a new addition to the brother and sister writing team of Robert and Rebecca Rodriguez. Co-penned by the trio to be directed by Rebecca Rodriguez, and Zorro, a young Latinx woman seeking vengeance for her father's murder, joins a secret society and adopts the outlaw persona of Zorro. It's just a mantle, guys. Anybody could be Zorro. I hear this story by Robert and Rebecca Rodriguez was already in place when Trita, who has an overall deal at CBS Studios, came on board earlier this cycle to write the script. Trita, who also served as showrunner, and Robert and Rebecca Rodriguez executive produced with Silverman, Owens, and Rodney Farrell for Propagate, along with Jeff Clark and Eric Broomberg, a bunch of other people I don't fucking care about. They're originally going to do a reimagining of Zorro with a female protagonist in 2019 as one of the company's first projects under its first look deal with CBS Studio. The idea's first incarnation, written by Alfred Barrios Jr., was set up at NBC, as was the 2020-2021 version, which also had Sofia Varga attached. She's too old as an executive producer. She's no longer involved in the project. Yeah, she ran away from this, I bet. Robert Rodriguez was attached to direct Mask of Zorro and cast Antonio Banderas as the title role before leaving the feature project. In TV, he currently serves as executive producer on Disney's Book of Boba Fett, where they have hipsters on Vespas. Yeah, I think he sold out. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking about here, but this is going to be some woke shit. And I would be willing to bet she's going to be a strong, independent woman that beats up only men. And they're going to say Latinx at some point in there. They can't call her the Fox Atheist because that's sexist. So they're going to have to stick with Zora. Yep, this is they did a serial a long time ago about somebody that Lady Zorro that takes up the mask but has a whip, and that was okay. But this is going to be a bunch of woke garbage, and it stinks. You can smell this steaming turd from wherever you're sitting, I'm sure. It's going to be dumb. And what's sad is it'll probably succeed because a bunch of SJWs will support it. They'll be like, it's so great, and then they'll ruin Zorro. I don't mind if they have a Lady Zorro, but they can't really have it effectively the same character. I mean, Don Diego's a specific character. And I think to try and change that for the sake of changing it, instead of having him as his own Zorro and this lady inspired by him or something and call her Lady Zorro. They did a one shot of that from American mythology, and it wasn't bad. You can have a woman wear a mask and a costume, but don't make it the same thing. This is lazy. You're just riding coattails. More hand-me-downs for the minorities. All right, we are at the top of the hour, so that means it's time for me to ask you once again to please like, share on your social media if you would, and subscribe. And if you're really excited, ring that bell for notifications. If you're feeling particularly saucy, feel free to throw me a couple bucks at the Streamlabs link going through your chat now, also pinned at the top of your chat and in the description. All right, what's next? Here's some good news. This is coming from ICV2. We actually have a fair amount of articles from them today. CW, it's not going to succeed. Look at Batwoman. Oh, yeah, I got a Batwoman article too. Yeah, Giovanni, you're not wrong, but they're just producing content for the sake of having content. It's not about whether it's good or not. They can package anything into a big pile of turds. Yeah, it's going to be trash. You're not wrong. Comic Books for Kids sent 600 packages and 20 pallets of comics to medical facilities in 2021. These guys provide comics for kids in hospitals and cancer centers. And the troops got sent 100,000 comics. So, Comics for Kids sent 600 packages at 8. There's a couple 8,000 plus a spare £0 plus 20 pallets of free comics in 2021, according to founder and president Mark Weiss, including 30 boxes of comics valued at $9,000 to Los Angeles Children's Hospital. Sister charity Comic Books for Troops delivered about 87,000 comics to the military. In this just our 4th year, we are now the largest charity in North America for comics and pop culture items. I think it's really unfair to burden sick children and our soldiers with some of the shit comics that are being produced now. That seems almost kind of mean, but I like the idea here. Comic Books for Kids was founded in 2017 with the goal of providing kid-friendly comics to hospitals and other medical centers. In 2020, they formed Comic Books for Troops to send comics for older readers to members of the military. Charity has received a grant from the Eisner Foundation for the past 2 years and also partners with publishers, distributors, and retailers, including Diamond, Lunar, Archie, Boom, Dark Horse, IDW, Image, Oni Press, Titan, Valiant, and Zetascope, as well as Funko, Pez, and Paizo. The Pennsylvania retailer Hooked on Comics has a weekly auction to benefit them as well. So if you're interested in donating, there's a link here. But that's really cool that something good actually happened, even if they are probably forcing a bunch of like trashy Marvel books on them. But there's some good publishers here. Archie is safe for kids, obviously. Boom, they have the Power Rangers license. Dark Horse, IDW's got a lot of good kids books. Image, Oni, garbage. Titan, they have a couple of decent things they could probably send out. Valiant, Zetascope has got some really good adventure stuff. So there's that. So it's nice to have some actual good news of comics getting to some young people and our servicemen and women. For those of you that are toy and board game fans, Board Game Geek is reporting that Toy Fair New York 2022 is already canceled. Toy Fair Association, a non-profit. Okay. The Toy Association has announced the cancellation of Toy Fair New York, which was scheduled to take place February 19th through the 22nd. They just announced this around January 12th. That's good work, guys. So, yeah, they're shutting that down. There were 700 toy manufacturers who had remained committed to exhibiting toys. But, of course, they're shutting this down due to the COOF. So, if you were planning on going, good luck. Maybe you could go to Nuremberg, Germany. That one was scheduled for February 2nd. So I hope you didn't pay for flights in advance because they canceled it with about a month to go. And that kind of sucks. So no Toy Fair this year. Which means there's probably going to be a bunch of crappy YouTube announcements on their website or on their YouTube channel. Or on like Mattel and stuff like that. It's going to be sad and pathetic and annoying. So if you were hoping to learn about new toys and go and get cool exclusives, it's not happening. It's just not happening, man. All right. Let's see. Next up, we have Valorverse news. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, some of the high-end toy lines that look really cool. But check this out. Pre-orders arrived for Valorverse action figures Series 2A figures. This is from Bleeding Cool. Third-party collectibles are definitely on the rise as it gives collectors a more personal approach. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. Let's check these out. It's fucking Sergeant Slaughter, guys. Original military-style action figure line Action Force continues with version 2 of the menacing Sergeant Slaughter. This is a 1/12 scale figure featuring over 30 points of articulation, multiple accessories, weapons to get the job done, and an Action Force display stand to place him anywhere. So you get Sergeant Slaughter, which I think these are pretty tall. 1/12 scale, I think, is like, what, 12 inches? 8 inches? Anyway, I don't know how tall Sergeant Slaughter is. So it's an action figure. He's bald. You can put his glasses on, his hat. Otherwise, it looks really weird without it. So you get Sergeant Slaughter figure, 3 alternate heads, or hands rather, wide-brimmed hat, cap, sunglasses, vest, pistol, holster, tactical rig, grenade launcher, and stand. Then you've got Buster. Can I enlarge these, I wonder? Yeah. Let me enlarge this picture because it's pretty cool looking. Lots of articulation on these. Looks pretty badass. So you know it's expensive. Here's Duster. I called him Buster a second ago, but it's Duster. It's cool looking gear. Looks pretty authentic. Or as authentic as toys could get. So you got Duster figure, alternate heads, 7 hands, tactical vest, helmet, utility belt, headset, pistol, rifle, and stand. Then we've got Scarabs. That's going to take a second to load, apparently. My internet sucks. Not Monkey's level bad, but it's trying really hard to compete. All right, that one's not going to load. But this guy looks really cool. I love that outfit. He's introduced Scarabs to the premier action figure line. The Scarabs figure features 30 points of articulation, multiple accessories. You get 7 hands, vest, utility belt, rifle, pistol, knife, stand. Then you got Rollout. He's pretty cool looking too. Alternate head, 7 hands, utility vest, helmet, belt, pistol, 2-leg holsters, machine gun, knife, stand. So these look pretty awesome. This guy looks really badass. And of course, Sergeant Slaughter looks cool. These are going to be $31.99. So probably about 7 inches tall then. They're expected to drop in March, and collectors can find pre-order information by following this link. So if you want to check these out, here's the link. I think they look pretty cool. Desert Rat is based on Tony from Analog Toys. Oh, okay. Bobby was just on a live stream calling out Hasbro. I don't blame him. Hasbro's been really garbage, and their new CEOs ported over from that garbage fest that is Wizards of the Coast. Oh, they're 6-inch? Okay. That's still pretty good size. They have some G.I. Joe ones that are that size now that are pretty cool, but they're about $25, $26 from what I've seen. All right, next up, let's talk about some Doctor Who missing episodes. As any old Doctor Who fan knows, back in the 60s and even up to like the early 70s, when they would make a TV show and it aired a few times, they'd send the reels around to different TV stations, and then they would just erase the master tapes. And a lot of Doctor Who shows were never recovered, and they've been missing ever since. They might have scenes from it or some audio, but they don't have the full episodes. And what they were doing was animating them poorly to try and reconstruct them. And they did that with Shadow, which was never actually finished filming, but it did have the several scenes, and a few scenes did show up in the Five Doctors because there was a big strike. But they did kind of the same thing with the missing episodes by reconstructing them with animation. And it was a good way for the fans to actually see some of those long lost ones that were never recovered. And every now and then, for a long time back in like the 90s, they would find a reel in like Brazil of one of the shows or in Australia. So if you ever come across old film reels, check them because those are worth a fortune if they're Doctor Who. This is from Screen Rant. Doctor Who animated reconstruction of missing episodes is canceled. Because BBC hates you. That's the only thing I can think of. Animated reconstructions of old Doctor Who serials have reportedly been canceled due to BBC America pulling their funding. Despite the popularity it's enjoyed during its ongoing 58-year run, the legacy of Doctor Who has not always been held with such reverence, as was common practice in the 60s. Several of the original tapes for numerous episodes featuring William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton as the first and second incarnations of the Doctor were destroyed instead of taking up storage space. While Doctor Who was a top-rated show in the 60s, the series was still looked at as a silly children's science fiction program by higher-ups at the BBC, and thus not much thought was put into cultural preservation. This attitude only impacted this period of the show, and while fans have tracked down several original Doctor Who tapes, 97 episodes remain lost with little hope of turning up. To rectify this, the BBC had experimented with restoring these missing episodes to the medium of animation. Miraculously, audio recordings of every episode in this period still exist, with the actors' dialogue, the sound effects, and the music intact. With this available, the BBC commissioned several studios to produce the accompanying animation that brings new life to the episodes and fills in the empty spaces on fans' DVD shelves. And it was awesome. Granted, the animation kind of sucked, but you know what? I'll take that over not being able to enjoy the show. These attempts have restored 26 episodes from the 60s and even spawned a project that saw the infamous unfinished Fourth Doctor serial Shadow completed with animation and new voice work. According to the Daily Mirror via @the Cyberdevil, the upcoming reconstruction of the Patrick Troughton serial, The Abominable Snowmen, will reportedly be the last animation produced for the missing episodes. The apparent reason for this is BBC America pulling their funding from the initiative after a partnership with BBC Studios enabled the animation to be produced for DVD and Blu-ray release and airing on BBC America afterwards. The article provides a quote from an insider who elaborated on what this means for the future of the range. It's a real blow for the fans who hoped they would be able to watch every show from the early years. It's a shame the funding is gone. 4 of the 6 seasons only need one story to be animated to complete them. That's what really pisses me off about this, is there's like one episode that they needed to do a sequence for. All the others still remain. So the serial might have 5 or 6 parts, and they only need one episode to be restored. And they're not going to do it now. And the BBC hates the old stuff because they want the new woke stuff, so they're not funding this on their own. This will undoubtedly be a disappointment to fans, as it seemed that slowly but surely the entire catalog of missing episodes was on track to being restored. The abandonment of funding seems odd due to a niche but dedicated audience and a sense of prestige around the projects. Yeah, these were fun because the old stuff's way better than the new crap. With several of them being screened in full at the British Film Institute, this may be a case of finding a new financier for the projects, as the article posits that streaming services BritBox, partially set up by the BBC, could step in to fill the position. I hope so. I really hope they finish these. I will definitely buy the older ones before I buy anything of the new crap. However, this could take time, meaning that the relatively consistent release schedule of animation that fans have been used to may see a significant delay. it could be years before we're able to see these. Like, I've never seen The Abominable Snowman because it has missing episodes. The animated reconstructions has not always been met with overwhelming positivity. The BBC hired numerous different studios to animate various serials, which led to an inconsistency in animation style and quality. Yeah, they're kind of shit quality, let's be real. Fans have criticized elements such as awkward staging, incorrect likenesses, and a widely unpopular attempt to use 3D animation in the recent Web of Fear reconstruction. Oh, I didn't know they did that, but 3D animation, fuck that. However, most fans seem to agree that the animation has been finding its feet with recent releases, with the Evil, the Daleks being particularly well received as one of the best in the range. What they should do is find some fans that'll volunteer to do this. So, yep, yet another setback for Doctor Who fans and a big punch in the dick because they're going to give us more Doctor Who trash like Jodie Whittaker instead of stuff we actually want to see like adventure. So, sorry, Doctor Who fans, another kick in the nuts for you. Make the Doctor sidekicks into cat girls. There were cat girls on them, but they were literal cats. Like actual cats. I'm still waiting on the day the clown cried. We all are, Frosted. We all are. My internet's powered by hamsters. Pebbles! But that's not it for Doctor Who news, because I have another article. Because they hate you so much. Cosmic Book is reporting female POC Doctor Who rumored to replace Jodie Whittaker among disastrous ratings. Because what better way than just doubling down and say, well, now we need a woman of color because this white girl just wasn't doing it right. This is actually a little bit old, 1-4. With Jodie Whittaker set to regenerate next fall, it's rumored her replacement doctor will be a female POC, which comes amid disastrous ratings for the series. Well, fans are hoping the BBC will be done with the get woke, go broke approach. Make no mistake, it's definitely broke in more ways than one. Russell T Davies is returning, and this is not the Russell T Davies that brought us Doctor Who the first time around. Chris Chibnall really did damage to the series with the Timeless Child, and it looks like Russell T Davies is going to double down on that. Update, it's claimed the production notice isn't official as it lists producer who is leaving with Chibnall and Whittaker, according to Digital Spy. The notice is confirmed not to be official. Digital Spy is saying that it's not official, but apparently the contact person was somebody that's leaving. But it does list Bad Wolf up here, so there's some possibility they're looking to get. Apparently, this person was the favorite to get the job. And first of all, that looks like a helmet. She looks like Gary Spivey. Do you guys know who Gary Spivey is? Let me bring up a picture of old Gary here. If you grew up in the 80s, you'll know Gary Spivey. She's got that helmet hair going. Tell me that doesn't look alike. Come on, Gary Spivey, Psychic to the Stars, and whatever the fuck is going on with this hair. Yeah, gross. I'm Doctor Who. Ugh, get a good actor. Like, maybe this chick's a decent actor, I don't know, but from what I've seen, this is going to be trash. So, yep, good job ruining Doctor Who, lady. You and your stupid idiot producer friend Chibnall. What the fuck is that? That was Gary Spivey. It's like a young beardless Hagrid. Yeah, well, at least Gary Spivey is like in on the joke, I guess. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. Does she work for Darth Helmet? I don't know, maybe. Disgusting. taking a perfectly lovely TV show and destroying it is sad. All right. Speaking of Doctor Who, though, I got a couple articles apparently on Doctor Who. There was a lot of Doctor Whovian news. ICV2 is reporting Don't Blink board game is coming out. Gale Force 9 will release it into U.S. retail. It's a new tactical board game. It's going to come out in April of 2022. In Don't Blink, players take on the roles of the Doctor and companions who have crashed the TARDIS on a derelict spaceship. The ship they're stranded on is infested with weeping angels, so it plays like Space Hulk. Killers that can only be neutralized by staring at them. The goal of the game is for players to collect the 4 parts needed to repair their TARDIS and get off the ship before the weeping angels manage to banish them from time. If they get off the ship, the Doctor and his companions win. If they don't and all get captured, the player controlling the weeping angels wins. It's going to be $30. Take 30 minutes to play, ages 14 and up, 2 to 5 players. It's a cheap way of playing Space Hulk. If you remember Space Hulk, that was an awesome fucking game. First 2 versions of it. I haven't seen the re-release one they did, but I heard there were some changes. So, yep, that's a thing that exists out there. Doctor Who will be a veiled Muslim woman. They would do that if they could get away with it, I think. So let's check in on the MCU here, the MCU, if you will. CBR is reporting that a new rumor claims that John Watts' Fantastic Four reboot is currently casting actors who will play the Marvel Cinematic Universe's take on the heroes, which hopefully will be at least as good as Roger Corman's and not anywhere near that garbage fest they dumped on us last time with Fan Force Stick. According to My Time to Shine, hello, whoever the fuck that rando is, has been a steady source of legitimate Marvel Studio leaks in recent months. Casting has now begun on the Fantastic Four. The film will be John Watts' next movie, meaning the Spider-Man No Way Home director will jump from one MCU project to another. Well, it's been assumed that the Fantastic Four would make their MCU debut after Walt Disney Studios bought 20th Century Fox. Yeah, blah, 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 X-Men, we all know. Though the reboot has a director, it's unclear who will tackle the script and what stage the film is actually at. But if the new rumor is true, it seems things are moving forward. Going along with the rumor, another broke in October of 2021 that claimed Thunderbolts and Nova films are in the works. It's a little early to be casting Thunderbolts. They haven't introduced any of those villains. And Nova, they're going to fuck it up. It's going to be all tee-hee, jokey humor shit. And it probably won't be Richard Rider. It'll be the diversity hire one. That same rumor also claimed Fantastic Four will go into production in 2023, which lines up with the movie currently seeking leads. As for who could play the titular superheroes, plenty of leading actors have thrown their names in the ring. Fans have long wanted to see John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt looks too old. I'm sorry. Krasinski could probably do it. I won't have that big of a problem, but Emily Blunt, sorry, she's not aging real well. And she's in her 40s. You need somebody younger to play Sue Storm. The couple has different feelings about joining the MCU. Krasinski said he's down to play Mr. Fantastic, but Blunt seems uninterested in playing the Invisible Woman. It's because all her gumballs would be invisible because she's old. Wrestler turned actor John Cena wants to play the Thing. No, go back to China, John. Well, former Jar Jar Binks actor Ahmed Best recently said he'd love to play Reed. I don't think that's going to happen, dude, but it might. They're probably all going to be black. But given how Marvel typically picks unknowns or up-and-coming actors for the franchise, we might get some unknowns. That'd be fine. But they need to actually look like the characters instead of the lazy shit they did last time where the Thing looked like the guy that rode the bicycle in the Nothing on a Never-Ending Story. So, yeah, they're casting for that movie, which would probably be all black lesbian women that are trans-abled or some shit. And let's kind of stick with the MCU for a second, as Cosmic Book News also has something else to report for us. And that's Hulk's kid rumored for She-Hulk. That's right. Mark Ruffalo, worst Hulk actor on the planet. This is going to be stupid. A rumor is swirling around the internet that Hulk's kid will be appearing in the upcoming She-Hulk series for Disney+. Recall how a while ago there was another rumor that said She-Hulk is less about She-Hulk and more about Hulks. Regarding the rumors, it's claimed the end of She-Hulk will see the Hulk and his kid leave Earth in order to get help for some reason. Fans are guessing this means the son of Hulk, Scar, will be appearing in She-Hulk, and that Hulk and Scar will be leaving Earth together and heading to space, seeking assistance again for nebulous reasons. What this means is that during the events of Thor Ragnarok, the childlike Hulk had sex with someone on Scar, the Sakaar, whatever, and had a baby unknown to the Hulk. The baby then grows up and comes to Earth all grown up thanks to timey-wimey wormholes. Stop saying timey-wimey. It's a stupid expression. And She-Hulk, another reason to be pissed off at Doctor Who. And She-Hulk can contacts and confronts Banner and or Hulk. Honestly, it sounds kind of odd as the Hulk in Ragnarok was about 4 or 5 years old mentally. And actor Mark Ruffalo even confirmed he took inspiration from his own kids for the role. His kids are probably in their 20s. Green Scar Hulk is not dumb, goofy, or childlike. Yeah, that doesn't stop him. There's also a possibility of seeing Lyra and She-Hulk. Look, She-Hulk, they're going to break the fourth wall. They've already said that she's going to talk to the audience like Deadpool does, because that's what you expect from She-Hulk, right, guys? Right? It's what you expect from Girl Hulk. Yay, this is fucking dumb. This show's going to be stupid. Like so many of these shows, they're just more garbage. They're going to replace all the Avengers with chicks. Hey, Ruffalo's not the worst Hulk actor on the planet. He was playing the Hulk has something to do with how bad he is as an actor. That's true. He is a terrible actor, but I think he is the worst actor that... it's just... I don't have any faith this is going to be any good. This is going to be more trash fire. All right. Let's talk comic sales. ICVD2 is reporting that sales of Scorched #1 break 270,000 copies. This is the latest installment in the Spawn universe that McFarlane's doing. There's 4 titles, and I think this is the third or fourth one. Or third one, Medieval Spawn's coming out yet. Image Comics announced that the Scorched #1, which kicks off a new team series set in the Spawn universe, sold over 270,000 copies. That's a huge sale by today's standards. Scorched writer Sean Lewis and artist Steven Segovia and Paulo Sequeira is a super team series with an initial cast of Reaper, Spawn, Redeemer, Gunslinger, Medieval Spawn, and She-Spawn. The first issue went on sale on January 12th with covers by Puppeteer Lee, Brett Booth, who's amazingly talented, Greg Capullo, Todd McFarlane, Don Aguilo, Mark Silvestri, and Ryan Stegman. So they got some amazing talent on these books. Oh, thank you, Baby Vaso. Hey, Jack, what did you think of the G4 scandal? I thought it was stupid, and they're trying to drum up controversy. Like most, I watched X Play when I was 12, and I started to wonder if our idols in media, like Kevin Smith, were always SJWs, but because social media was still in its infancy, we aren't able to see it until now. Sadly, it's probably the case. I think Kevin Smith just sold out. But a lot of the others, they've always been like this. Hollywood is very, very lefty, progressive, pseudo-commies. And, I think we're just seeing it more now. They're able to communicate more with the audience and show them how dumb they are. But thank you, Baby Vaso. This was an incentive comic. It's a 48-page comic for $6. You get quite a bit in there, too. It's actually a value. The paper quality is really nice on all these Spawn books. And they're actually really well done from what I've seen. I've got most of them. I haven't read them all. But I will be reviewing this one shortly. And the paper quality is fantastic. The covers are amazing. They do have incentive covers if you're into those. There's a 1 in 250 signed by McFarlane. Those are going to be like $500. So, yeah, he's expanding the Spawn franchise, and it's pretty much nailing it, too. Like it says here, first printing of 393,000 for Gunslinger Spawn. And over 200,000 for Spawn's Universe #1, which kicked all this off. So yeah, the issues subsequent to issue 1 are all $2.99 too. So it's $1 less than the other books on the market. So it's cheaper, you get better quality, and the art tends to be better. I can't really say much about the story yet, but yeah, it's worth checking out. Disney Marvel never had my hopes up. Yeah, no shit. So, yep. We only got a few more articles here to go over. And we will get to the title of the stream shortly. Gotta save that so you're all excited by it. Let's talk about Batwoman and make fun of that show some more because it's fucking horrific. CBR Batwoman star discusses portraying DC's first black Joker. That's some dude with a playing card. How is that the Joker? And his necklace is fucking stupid looking. Batwoman star Nick Cregan recently spoke about being the first black man to take on the infamous and iconic role of the Joker in live action. In an interview with The Wrap, Cregan discussed how his new portrayal came to be from influences of past Jokers to the selection of various purple hair extensions. It's crazy, he said. It's wild, actually. Yeah, I've done a lot of processing the past weeks, months, you know. It's surreal to me. It's been a wild ride for me. You know, the reception of the new Joker, being the first person of color to play the role, the messages and the love I've been getting has been just overwhelming. It's been a fun ride. Look, hang on to those paychecks, dude. You're on Batwoman. Elsewhere in the interview, Cregan explained that he bonded with Batwoman co-star Nicole Kang, not the time-traveling warlord, due to the fact that he was the first black man to play the Joker, and she was the first Asian American woman to play Poison Ivy. And then when we found out that we would have a scene together, we were just like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Fans are going to lose their mind when they see these two on screen. You guys have fans, really? Despite taking on a role with such vaunted precedent, Cregan has already begun adding his own twisted flair to the character. The laugh, for instance, is actually my own laugh. People are like, oh, this Joker laugh is just so good. I'm like, don't think I'm actually crazy, but this is how I laugh whenever something's really funny. Oh my God, that is such great acting skill that you just do a normal laugh. That's fucking pathetic. So I have a really weird, interesting, I call it my amateur laugh. That's mine. Ha 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 ha. That's stupid. They went with Cregan plays Marquis Jet, a business scion turned sociopathic after a fateful childhood encounter with the original Joker. So he's not even the real Joker. He's just a hand-me-down Joker. In the story on the show, Marquis took a direct shock to the brain from the Joker's supercharged electric joy buzzer when his school bus was taken hostage. So yeah, he's just another imposter, basically. They did cast someone as Poison Ivy. That was Bridget Regan, if you remember her from the Sword of Truth series. She's really hot, good actress too. Her talent's totally wasted on this show. And they got a new one that's like some Asian kid, and it's really dumb. So Batwoman continues to be stupid and more woke trash. So there's that. It is possible to do worse than Jared Leto. Check out Gotham. That guy wasn't very good. So he's not really Joker then. No, he's imposter Joker. Some would say blackface Joker. The only fans Batwoman has are the YouTubers that laugh at the show. Yeah, you are not wrong, Adam BC. That show is awful. I tried watching it, and I have to say that was one of the most excruciating things I've done in years. Years. It was painful. Like kidney stone level of painful. And I feel bad for some of these actors. Like, this guy's probably trying to break in. And I'm sure he's a fine actor. They do have some decent actors. Just their scripts are so painful to listen to. The delivery of dialogue is awful. Like, they do fine on Hallmark movies or TV movies, Lifetime, shit like that. Or even Investigation Discovery would be a step up doing crime reenactments. But I guess you got to start somewhere. And I feel bad for the people that work on that show, even behind the scenes. I mean, you got to tell your family you work on there. All right, in good news, Cosmic Book is reporting Jeff Johns is back at DC Comics with Flashpoint Beyond. Apparently, he's coming back for a mini-series called Flashpoint Beyond that's going to focus on the Thomas Wayne Batman, obviously. And it's going to be a murder mystery. It's a 6-issue run that's going to start in April. From previews, Thomas Wayne dons the cowl in Flashpoint Beyond. Issue 0 from Jeff Johns and Eduardo Riso will be available on April 5th. Over 10 years have passed since the earth-shattering, time-changing event known as Flashpoint hit comic stands. On April 5th, Jeff Johns will be back to the alternative world he created in the 6-issue miniseries Flashpoint Beyond. Kicking off the event is a 48-page Flashpoint Beyond number 0, featuring artwork by Edward Riso. Not a huge fan of his stuff. After sacrificing everything to help the Flash put the universe back together and save Bruce Wayne's life, Thomas Wayne wakes up in a world he thought was no more. Forced to don the cowl once again, Batman prowls the street of Gotham City, searching for answers on how this world still exists, but what he starts to uncover will send him hurtling around the globe. The hunt for the Clockwork Killer starts here. This could be really cool. I like Jeff Johns. I think he's a very talented writer. He's kind of an idiot, and his politics are garbage, but I think he is a very talented writer. So this might be worth checking out. I'm going to read issue 1. It'll probably be a lot less bullshit, nonsense, PC crap from DC for once, and that will always be welcome. It's cringe personified, yeah. What, like, who killed DC Comics? No, that was Daniel Cherry III. That's an easy one. Not much of a mystery. And Dan DiDio. All right, we got our first look at the new Batgirl costume. And it's not bad, actually. A lot of people are complaining about it, but it could have been a lot worse. So let's take a look-see here. Hang on. Let me pull up some pictures. And I closed one. I'm smart. Shush. I'm smart. Smart, smart, smart. I'm not a dummy. Oh, man, I have a lot of crap on my desktop. So, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Yeah, okay, here we go. Smart, 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 smart. So here is the Leslie Grace in the Batgirl costume. It's currently filming in the UK, where the suit is a comics accurate. We're putting that in big old quote marks. Now, this costume is derived from, for those of you that don't know, the comic book series from a few years ago, where they made it this zip-up cosplay jacket that anybody could put together with like $30 in an old leather jacket. Now, I don't have as big of a problem as a lot of people do with this, because this is actually inspired by the 60s show. So they kind of just took a lazy copy of this. But if you look at the costume she's wearing, it does pay homage to this one too. So I don't have a problem with the costume. I kind of have more of a problem with the fact that Barbara Gordon's Latinx. This is going to take place in the Michael Keaton universe, where Commissioner Gordon's some old white dude. So how did he have this very obviously Latina daughter? She adopted? He was for a little while. He was a consultant, Frosted. His main work was Aquaman. The other stuff, and I think Wonder Woman. The other stuff he was involved in, he got overridden on a lot. So a lot of people are bitching about this. I think it's a lazy looking costume in the sense that the zipper here thing, but I get it. If you're going for she made her own costume kind of thing, it's not that bad. Oops, that's the wrong thing. But it does look a lot like the 60s costume, so I don't have as much of a problem with it. If you like the old 60s show, they are paying homage to it quite a bit with the yellow utility belt, the purple outfit. It's just a hybrid between that crappy comic book costume and this one. So I don't really have a problem with the costume per se. I just have a problem that this movie is going to be complete and utter dumpster fire to begin with. She's not a head red. I don't want no soul washing. Yeah, I hear you. They should have got a redheaded chick for it. Like, they just wanted to do a POC movie. That's all this is. It's lazy. And it's a shame because it diminishes this lady's potential acting ability by giving her a movie that she's not really well cast for. So if they wanted to do a movie about a Latino woman, they should have done a question movie and cast Renee Montoya and have this chick play Renee Montoya. It would have been better. I mean, this chick's cute and all, but I think this movie is going to be trash. So I don't hold it against her, but I think it's going to be garbage. All right, let's talk about the title before we talk about the final article, because that makes sense when I said it in my head. All right, this is from the AV Club. Neve Campbell, Scream's final girl, has survived a real-life bear attack. Neve Campbell became one of the 90s most famous horror movie final girls after playing Sidney Prescott in Scream. She technically wasn't the only final girl, since that Courtney Cox survived the movie too. Though her ability to survive the knife-wielding, mask-wearing Ghostface killer was fictional, it turns out Campbell may have been channeling her actual ability to defy a murderous beast. During her promo run for the new Scream movie, she explains she came to the role having once lived through a bear attack. During an appearance on the Kelly Clarkson show, which nobody watches, Campbell talked about filming a movie in Canada when she was 17 years old, where her character, who she describes as being one with the animals, except for those of the earth sign variety, had to be chased by a bear. She was instructed to give the bear a full bottle of Coca-Cola to show she was a nice human, and then to dip her hand in honey and then just run to get the scene shot. The idea was that the bear would follow her and she would turn around before extending her hand and letting the animal, which we all know cannot resist delicious honey, lick it off. Now, when I first heard this, I was picturing a different type of bear, and I was like, do they like honey? Because I didn't know that. But then I realized this was an actual bear and not a metaphorical one. The bear ended up doing the first part of its job, chasing Campbell just fine, but then decided to method act the role of a deranged, dangerous predator a little longer by grabbing onto her leg and dragging her through the forest. The crew around her froze in disbelief. Her mom, who was on the set that day, screamed, and Campbell yelled, "He's biting me," over and over. Eventually, she says the bear handler employed a sophisticated animal handling technique, throwing rocks, to get it to stop, and Campbell was released. Because she was 17 and wanted to be a pro, Campbell offered to do the chase scene again soon afterwards to get it right. You're a pro, but you're kind of dumb, too. This is impressive. Campbell can survive deranged slasher movie villains and real-life bears, as long as she never encounters a furry beast wearing a scary mask. Why, we bet she could escape from just about any form of danger. So she fought a bear. She didn't win. I'd say it was a draw because somebody else interfered. So we'll never know how this battle could have played out unless there's a rematch. But I have to say, Neve Campbell has aged well, and I'd still bang her. So, yep, that was an interesting story that I thought was fascinating. She fought a bear, and she lived to tell the tale. So, good on Neve Campbell for not dying, because that would have robbed us. What kind of bear were you thinking of, Jack? That kind that are into dudes. Yeah, they're making a Batgirl movie. It's going to be crap. Short run from a bear triggers a predatory response. Yeah, you're supposed to like play dead. Chunk Yogurt would put that honey somewhere else. Yeah, he probably would. Never been into the Scream movies. Ghostface isn't scary, and the meta stuff gets old pretty fast. Yeah, I like the Scream movies, but I could see why a lot of people wouldn't like them. Could have, so I understand why she did it, but I wouldn't have done it. Yeah, I wouldn't have either. She aged better than most. Yeah, she's probably got a good plastic surgeon or something, or good genetics. But yeah, she's still cute. She's like my age too. She's old. San Francisco bear. Yeah, the bear of the San Francisco variety. All right, let's see here. Let's talk about D&D. Because everybody likes Dungeons and Dragons, apparently. So, D&D Beyond has released a free adventure on their website, the official D&D Beyond page, where they do a bunch of dumb shit. They have a free adventure called Work at Strixhaven, Fire Jolt Cafe, and No Tears Over Spilled Coffee. A wacky adventure for you and your party to play. So, you remember Strixhaven? It's the Harry Potter setting. Well, now you can be a barista in D&D too. Oh my gosh. Adventure summary. The adventure takes place over the course of the character's first day at work at Fire Jolt Cafe. Their manager, Alina Tanglewood, scheduled the group for training but quickly falls ill. She thrusts the characters to work together to run the cafe as she recovers. Player objectives: clean the coffee machine, successfully fulfill drink orders during the morning rush, save customers from the monster hidden in the newsstand, work together to complete a complex drink order. I could play that on my phone on like 50 boring apps. This is an actual adventure from Wizards of the Coast. This is a real thing, guys. Hipster D&D setting? Yeah, boring hipster D&D setting. You crouch down to pick it up, Richard. The chosen profession of failed artisans. Yeah, this is a real thing that's happening, guys. It's probably got wheelchair accessibility too. Character creation: you choose a job position. You get a weekly wage of 5 gold pieces. That is a ridiculous wage. You should be getting paid in copper, maybe a silver, because you're not worth it. You're easily replaced. Improve or damage relationships with one NPC they work with regularly. Oh no, you might hurt somebody's feelings. As the adventure takes place over the course of a single day, you may reward the characters with 1 gold piece in wages plus tips at the end of a workday. If you plan to run the adventure found in Strixhaven, keep wanting to call it Strixhexenhaven because it's like Styx, Hex, and Hammer. Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos. Keep tabs on how the characters interact with NPCs. Relationships are an important element in the book. Friendship is magic. Look, they're going to form Captain Hipster. Ugh. So dumb. So here's the actual adventure. Look. As characters get to know one another, Elena prepares the barista station, see area of F3. She discovers the closing shift didn't do much cleaning the night before. Oh, noes! She begins to cough and sneeze. Oh, no, you take notice. Oh, no, she's going to leave. Oh, no, you're going to have to be a barista without help. Look, ceilings. Important feature. The ceilings are 20 feet high. That's important. There's no hidden monsters except the one in the newsstand. But here's the cafe. Oh my gosh, it's just like the one I go to in my town. Oh noes. Look, the VIP private dance area. It's got magic steps. The cafe steps can move and change shape to provide full accessibility to customers. See, it really is handy capable. Cartoonish scenes crafted from illusionary magic along the walls. It's got my favorite cartoon too. Ugh. This is disgusting. Thankfully, somebody archived this, so you too can act this out in your games. Oh, there's methods in the machine. Cleaning the coffee machine requires you to get rid of them. You have to kill them, though. Sorry. Baristas: dexterity, skill check, charisma. You have to have some brewer supplies. Cashier: intelligence and wisdom. Really? Of what, 4? Breathing is required, too. Cleanup crew member. Which job will you take? Will you be a server or will you be cleanup crew? Oh, it's so much like college. Oh, it's so college-esque. Ugh. Oh, look, Robert Pattinson's here to sparkle for you. All hands on deck. The characters will need to work together to successfully create the drink, including the cleanup crew. To complete the task, the party must succeed at least 3 of the following 5 skill checks: project manager, ingredient measurer, foam artist, taste tester. Ew, don't drink my stuff. Cleaner upper. That's a job. Requires acrobatics. Cleaner upper. Yeah. This is where we're at. This is where we're at, guys, with D&D. You know how you used to have side treks where you'd have to like rescue some random merchant in his caravan and fight a entire village of trolls or some shit? I was making, yeah. This is an actual D&D module, Monkey. This is on their website, D&D Beyond. They do a bunch of free, like, side quest adventures and one night sessions, and that's what you're getting here. Yeah, this is a real thing. So you can be a barista, and your objective is to clean the coffee machine, fulfill the drink orders during the morning rush, save customers from the monster hidden in the newsstand, which is some little shitty monster, and work together to complete a complex drink order. So what role will you take? Will you be the cleaner-upper, because that's a real job? Will you be the barista, the cashier, or the cleanup crew member? Which is it? What will you do? What will you do? This is an impossible drink order. You will need to roll your acrobatics to be the cleaner-upper. The taste tester has to investigate this. The foam artist has to perform. The ingredient measurer, sleight of hand, project manager, perception. Oh dear. I have to oversee a complicated order. Oh, it's just like my real life at Starbucks. Oh my God. Fuck you, D&D. Fuck you very much. Fuck you for turning into dog shit to market to dumb, fake nerd hipsters. Their fantasy is their day job. Yes, they are short-sighted people with no imagination. I don't have an imagination, so it could be used on such a mundane game. Yeah. How inspired. Yeah. You're reading my mind, guys. Which character has the most successful chance of committing suicide? Yes. Probably the half-orc. Then cast out fire on the whole building. Yeah, fireball. Man, this is just so dumb. You work at the Fire Jolt Cafe. First level characters, guys. They need 3 to 4 of you to role play this stupid ass scenario. And like I said, the stairs are magic, so they can accommodate wheelchairs. Oh, boys, download it while you can, guys. I don't know how people missed this. I think Clownfish talked about it. That's how I found out about it. But this came out on December 3rd. So maybe I should be looking at this more often and seeing what kind of nonsense they're putting out. I really hope TSR wins their lawsuit. You can support them to the Indiegogo link in the description. And I hope they win. And I hope they come out with a competing fantasy RPG, because I am more and more invested in that already before it's even been released than I am in this trash. This is garbage. What the fuck are they thinking? So this is dumb. And it should go away because it's stupid. And I hate it. I hate everything about this. This is lazy. If it was as a joke, like an April Fool's Day joke, fine, but it's not. And that's what makes me mad. Thank you, Baby Vaso. This is what Nintendo does with Mario, Star Fox, and Pokemon. Whenever Nintendo has a shitty idea for a toss-away game, they sell it by attaching one of their top IPs to it, such as Mario basketball game no one remembers. D&D is being used to sell junk. Yeah, unfortunately, this is their main thrust of their stuff now. They are focusing less and less on combat and more on these weird tasks and interpersonal interaction than anything else. And it's really sad. But you're not wrong about what they're doing with Mario. That's true. Dr. Mario was just Tetris. Who the hell wants to role play at Twilight Starbucks? That's a good question, man. I wish I knew. One backstory requirement is that your character have a screenplay they're trying to sell, right? Thanks, Assassin. Make gatekeeping great again. Well, they used to not want to play because these were the cool band kids or whatever, and they didn't want to play D&D. Now it's just Junior Drama Club. So if you want to play Junior Drama Club and live out the college experience, here you go. I'll drop this link again in case anybody missed it. But, man, this is trash. So, yeah, I don't know. This is total dog shit, and it's just going to get worse. Especially with the guy that was running Wizards of the Coast now running all of Hasbro. I think this is just going to keep going downhill. And I don't have any faith this is getting better. So find some old school role-playing game to play, something that mimics that old feel instead of this, because this is hot garbage. Dr. Mario is great, one of the few Tetris knocked off that worked. Yeah, I liked that game, but it was very obviously a Tetra knockoff. Tetris, whatever. Session where DM tried to get us to found a Adventures Guild. Buddy who's first time playing burned it down, fun times. Yeah, that's what people used to do, is have fun. Like, you can have a base of operations, that's fine, but I don't know what these clowns are thinking with this stuff. This is just lazy. And it's weird. Like, you could tell they're hiring, because they're based out of, I think, Seattle right now. And you can tell, because this is the type of pseudo hipster humor stuff they think that people will like. Wendy's is making a better RPG than Wizards. Yeah, I would buy a Wendy's RPG before I bought a Wizards one, because Wendy's, at least you know that what they're trying to do and that it's supposed to be in a sense of humor. This they're serious about. They think this is what people want to play. And they've lost all the old fans, especially with more crap like this they keep churning out. And the 5th edition system doesn't seem that bad. From what I've seen of it, it doesn't look too bad. And it's a shame they're going to revise it and make all the orcs into, apparently they think they're black people. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. Thanks for dropping the link, Sherry. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. But yeah, it makes me want to look at other RPGs and play them instead of giving them $50 for a player's handbook. Oh, they made an RPG already? Oh, well, I'll have to track that down. Well, that was the last of what I had for today, and it really made me mad. But I'm glad to know that Neve Campbell fought a bear. Yeah, she didn't win, but she didn't really lose either. So she didn't have a chance for an equal fight, mano a mano or mono or so. So that made me happy that she survived the bear attack. And then D&D made me sad. But I wanted to laugh at that because it was so stupid. Like, oh no, we got to make a customer a game. Isn't that... There's a game like that. A bunch of mobile games have that same feature where you like just make people's food and stuff. It's dumb. Tech of the show makes me miss Trevor Moore even more. I don't know who Trevor Moore is. Yeah, the Player's Handbook, the DMG, and the Monster Manual are all $50. Although if you buy them on Amazon, you can usually get them for about $40, and I think Walmart even has them for $35. Employee diversity classes on how to talk to orcs. I don't know, Jordan. That's a good question. I kind of blacked out while reading it because I don't remember parts because it was so painful. It's written like a hipster talks, that Twitter speak, like, oh my God, totally awesome, The last great show ever. The whitest kids I know would be clowns, and they're scary. But I know the program you're talking about. You're probably not wrong. Overpriced Sims add-on. Yeah, this is a video game. If they wanted to do this, they should have done it in 4th edition, which played like a video game. Oh, Trevor Moore was on Whitest Kids You Know. Oh, okay. They charge money for this? Not for this module. This adventure was free. It was on their website. It was one of the free ones they gave out. They do free side quests all the time. But yeah, they charge you $50 for the core books. The other ones vary. They're usually right around 30 to 40, depending on the book. And they're going to revise them all shortly. There's a whole bunch of them that have new errata, and they're going to have revisions coming out. So get ready for that. But yeah, the Strixhaven book I think is $40. Hold on, I'll look it up on Amazon. And remember, Amazon does price things a little bit differently based on where you're at. So if you're in certain markets, it's a couple bucks here or there. It's $34 right now, down from 50. So yeah, if you want to play Strixhaven, make sure none of my deets are on here. If you want to play Harry Potter College, $34. List price is $50. Save $14.96, 30% off. It's not worth $35. I'll buy this for $1 at a bookstore somewhere that doesn't know what they have, because I'm not fucking paying real money for this. I want to read it though, just to laugh at it. Could probably get a stream out of that, but I'm not paying $35 for that shit. So if you want to purchase that, there you go. But yeah, it's just D&D has really gone way downhill. And if you want a book that has some charts and tables in it, I would recommend Improving Your Own Adventure using this book, because I will get 10 cents if you buy it in paperback. Because that guy's awesome. Well, I actually get like more if you buy the Kindle version, but that's neither here nor there. Hold on, let me find the paperback version. For some reason, they're not linked on there. I prefer paperback stuff when or hard copies. Oh, Pathfinder's super woke, Frosted. They're cutting a bunch of stuff out too. They're cutting slavery out because somebody wrote a letter to the owner, manager, whatever guy. We went over that a few weeks ago. They're putting like warning labels in their books, content warnings, and they're going to stop producing the older books that have it until they can revise them, from the sound of it. Just see how much I can. Oh, it's time for the dance. Troll Attack. Yeah, they've got the poetry battles and impromptu festivals in Strixhaven. So yeah, Pathfinder's cucking. Paizo as a general company is really, really going woke. So it doesn't surprise me when I see stuff like this. But Strixhaven was really over the top for me. I thought that was ridiculous. So yeah, that's what I had today. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for everybody coming out and supporting the show. Make sure you liked, shared, and subscribed, and rung that bell for notifications. And remember, if you want to, if you're listening to this in the future, you can still donate via the Streamlabs link. But yeah, thank you all for coming out, and thank you so much to all of you that donated. It's greatly appreciated. I do really appreciate that. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much, and hopefully we will see you on the next one. You guys have a wonderful night.